Hello! Today in our English lesson we're going to deal with linking words and some academic vocabulary exercises. Linking words are very important in order for your language to be more enriched. There are many of those. Today we're going to see some of the categories and some of the linking words that you can use. For example, to express personal opinions, you can say, in my opinion, I believe that, I feel that, it seems to me, in my view, well, I personally think that, I strongly believe that. In order to show purpose, you can say to, in order to, so as to, so that. In order to list some ideas, you can start with firstly, to begin with, in the first place, and then if you want to add another idea, you can say secondly, finally in the end, lastly. To contrast different ideas, you can say however, although, in contrast, whereas, nevertheless, in spite of, despite, and there are also many other words that you can use. Let's continue. In order for you to describe a cause, you can say because, you can say since, as, due to. To show a sequence, so one after the other, you can use first of all, then, after that, next, eventually, finally. You said something and you want to add information to that. You use the linking words. In addition, moreover, what is more, furthermore, besides that. In order to describe a sequence, consequently, as a result, therefore, thus, for this reason, that is why. To conclude the topic, you can say, in conclusion, to sum up, in short, all in all. Well, you can also say, all things considered, everything taken into consideration. So as you can see, there are so many linking words for you to help so that you can make your pieces of writing, let's say, more concrete, and why not add this touch of advanced vocabulary as well. Let's continue now with some practice in order for you to see all those linking words into practice. Let's see the first sentence that we are given. Joanna is an excellent cook. And the linking words that are given are although, as a result, and whereas. Her daughter is a terrible one. In order for you to understand and to decide on the linking word, you need to understand the meaning of the sentence. So on the one hand, we have Joanna, that is an excellent cook. Whereas on the other hand, we have her daughter, that is a terrible one. So in fact, we have a contradiction of these two parts. So the linking word that is going to be used is whereas. And why is that? Because on one part we have Joanna, excellent cook, whereas her daughter is a terrible one. Let's move on to the second sentence. The injury Amelia had was, the missing part, the terrible accident. So the injury was due to the fact that the terrible accident. It doesn't make any sense. The injury Amelia had was because the terrible accident. Again, there is something missing. Whereas, if we say the injury Amelia had was because of the terrible accident. So we have the result and the linking word that shows us why this happened. Let's move on to the third example. I have decided to work hard from the beginning. The words that were given are so that, in order not to, and so as fail the exam. So, somebody has decided to work hard from the beginning because he or she has an aim to achieve something. So, we're going to choose B. You work hard from the beginning in order not to fail in the exams. And let's continue with number 4. Emma was late last night. The linking word that are given are however, because, therefore, comma, which is very important for you to take into consideration. Her father didn't punish her. So again we have one situation that Emma was late, and the other situation that her father didn't punish her. So which linking word are we going to use? The word however, the linking word however, that shows us that although something happened, the other situation was, let's say, the opposite of what we expected maybe. Let's move on with some more exercises. Now, we are going to be given some sentences and we need to rewrite them using the appropriate linking words. Here, we have the flexibility of using different expressions, of course. We're just going to give some of those. Number 1, we help poor and their lives be easier. Okay, what do we have here? In the first part, we're given the situation and we need to state our opinion. Whereas in the second part, we have the result. So the linking words that could be used are, in my opinion or in my view, we should help the poor. This is our opinion. And the result, if we were to do this, then their lives would be easier. So we state our opinion with the linking word and the linking expression of the result if we were to do this. We're going to continue with some more. I'm just going to give some suggestions. You can use others as well. For example, children learn foreign language in preschool. Let's state our opinion in a different way. Let's not say in my view, but let's say in my opinion now. So in my opinion, children should learn a foreign language in preschool. And the result? If this happens, then children might become fluent speakers, for example. Let's move on to the third one. We all use public transport. We said in my view, we said in my opinion, we can say now, to my mind, we should all use public transport. So I stated my opinion, and we can say, as a result of this, pollution would be reduced. So you can also use other linking words as well, but you should focus on the fact that in the first part, we state our opinion, and in the second part, we have the result of that. Let's move on, please. All right. we're going to leave aside now a little bit the linking words, and we're going to deal with some academic vocabulary. More specifically, we are given the sentence. The sentence is not grammatically correct. And in brackets, we have the word error. We can see that this sentence is rewritten in a different way. There is a grammatical error in the sentence. So, if you can see, there isn't anything wrong with the first sentence. It is fine. But the second sentence is expressed in a more academic way. And this is what we want from you to see, that the same expression could be said simply, or at this level that you are now, could be said in a more academic way. This is what we're going to practice together. So, let's see number 1. Some young people have no idea about the effects of passive lifestyle. And we are given the word unaware. Now you need to find what is the meaning of unaware and which expression can be, let's say, substituted. So we can say that some young people are unaware of the effects of passive lifestyle. So what do we see here is that the expression have no idea, that is very simple, can be substituted by a more academic expression, that is, are unaware of. Some of you, while writing, especially there, it's very difficult for them to try and substitute the words that come to their mind. So try not to use the same words all the time. You need to practice and you need to have more synonyms and, of course, more academic vocabulary. Number 2, pollution has significantly affected the health of city dwellers. And we are given the word impact. So we need to rewrite the sentence using the word impact. So, pollution has significantly had an impact on the health of the city dwellers. So we can see that instead of using the word affected, that is fine, that is correct, but we can use a more academic one. We can use the expression to have an impact on. And this is how our sentence is transformed. Number 3, the mayor said there are other ways to solve the problem of waste disposal. The word that we are given is the word alternative. Okay, number 3 is fine, but why not use other words, more enriched vocabulary, to make it even better? So we can say that the mayor said there are alternative ways to solve the problem of waste disposal. Which word or which expression has been substituted here? It's this one, that there are other ways. How many times you've used the word other again and again? Try not to repeat the same words. Try to use their synonyms and their more enriched ones. So instead of saying other, you can say alternative ways. Very good so far. We're going to move on with another exercise, and that is talking about general nouns. Well, we're going to be given some general nouns that are the words issues, trend, result, process, well, incidents, medium, devices. Again, as you can see, many of those words come into your mind, but usually there are other words, simpler ones, that come to your mind. And this is what we're going to practice together. The fact that instead of using those simple words, you can use more advanced vocabulary. Let's see the example together. Washing machines and other labor-saving, the word that could be used instead of things that normally comes to your mind. So you might think that thing could be fine, but why not use a more academic word? So we can say labor-saving devices. Let's continue with number 1. The subject of drug abuse will be among several other, for example, the word that might come to your mind is the word topic. That is so overused. So we can say issues instead of saying simply a topic. Let's move on with number 2. Company sales have fallen in recent months. And this, what could we put here? What is the meaning of the sentence? Seems set to continue. This what? Take a look, please. I want you to find the words yourself. It's not difficult. So, this trend, of course. This trend continues. Let's move on to number 3. Recovering after a serious illness can be a long, slow, I'm sure that you can find this very, very easily, so a slow process. So, recovering is a process. Well done. Number 4, there have been several fights and other violent, what? Can you find, please, the answer? Can you think of that? Yes, it's not difficult. And other violent incidents in the town recently. And our last sentence, the book first became available as a of communication in the 2nd century after death. Usually, we find this expression as a means of communication. Its synonym of means is, of course, medium. So you can start writing and you can say at the beginning a means of communication, and then in order for you not to repeat the same expression, you can say a medium of communication. All right, let's move on with some more vocabulary exercises for you to enrich them. So, we are given some words. These words, as you can see, are not the ones that usually come to your mind first. Simpler ones come to your mind. But we are given the words innate, native, master, extend, and human beings. Then we're given a specific text, and we need to replace those simple words with more rich vocabulary. So this vocabulary that you should use should be richer. Do not stick to those simple words that you use all the time, but try to find other words as well. So let's see together. All people want to feel successful, but we are not born with the same abilities. The word people is the one that comes to your mind. After using it once, you can replace it. You can use another word. So what is that? What can we say? We can say all human beings want to feel successful. However, we all have the ability to learn, and by working hard, all of us can learn things well. So, instead of saying the simple word learn, we can use another verb that is richer. And that is the word, of course, the verb master. So, we don't simply learn, but we master things. To a certain level. Instead of using the word level, can't we use another word? Of course we do. So we can say, to a certain extent. Even the most famous artists say that practice is more important than their born talent. So use this word. Let's replace it with another word, with its synonym. That is an innate talent. Born is fine, but why not use innate? That is even better. And success depends on hard work. So as you saw, there are so many exercises for you to practice and to enrich your vocabulary. Use the linking words that we learn in your different pieces of writing, and also practice your advanced vocabulary. Thank you for paying attention.